So video games and violence. Do video games cause them? The answer is no. We had this discussion back in the 90s. So recently, in August of 2019, there were two mass shootings that happened pretty close together, and video games got blamed. And a lot of people have been jumping on board with that, but it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Surely they can't be talking about Super Mario World, where an Italian plumber is jumping on turtles and dinosaurs. But what could it be? They think of games like Modern Warfare, Metal Gear Solid, all the things that simulate real-life violence. Now let me ask a common sense question. What do you think is likely to cause violence? Real-life violence or a simulation of violence? If you're going to blame video games for making people violent and therefore causing mass shootings, you also have to think that real-life violence will do that as well. Now I know a lot of people are going to say, well, real guns, Now I'm not blaming real guns. I'm very pro Second Amendment. But let's look at two scenarios. You see an angry young man in his room playing Call of Duty by himself, and he's like, I'm gonna blow up a school or whatever. Now you see a bunch of army buddies at a shooting range having a good time, firing at targets. One seems amiable, and the other seems sad. So what do you think the answer is? So not too long ago, well, maybe it was a bit, there was a study that showed that veterans from the Vietnam War who had a problem with drugs, the ones who found community and family and all that, they were able to contend with those issues, and they would usually overcome that problem. Now the dudes who remained isolated and alone, they got bad. If you look at footage of the Columbine shooters, you'll see them in the woods messing around with guns, and they're just by themselves. So the real problem here is isolation and the social fabric. If we're able to fix the social fabric, we could address this problem of isolation. And who knows, maybe we could prevent more mass shootings. I don't know, that's just my thought.